Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another Zombies video, and this is one I definitely didn't think I would be making in a million years. But a few months ago, Jason Blundell and Dave Anthony, I believe, announced their new studio that they opened up, Deviation Games. And when it got announced, there were people, zombie YouTubers, that made a couple videos, and then people in the zombies community talked about maybe them continuing the Ether story or making maybe a spin-off of the Ether story with Primus or Ultimus in it and continuing maybe making some round-based zombies games. And like I said, I never would have thought a few months ago that I would be saying this, but some stuff that I've seen recently, without going into detail, uh, it can show that it is possible for another studio to continue the Ether story, or I guess in Jason Blundell's case, maybe the Chaos story, because I think that was kind of like his baby in a way that he created while at Treyarch, and the zombie YouTubers crapped all over it. They weren't bad maps, it wasn't a bad story, maybe a little bit ahead of its time, because even since that was made, there were some Netflix movies and a couple other things that kind of seem to be along the same lines of the Chaos story and about Greek mythology and stuff like that. And there's always stuff in pop culture that the zombie stories take inspiration from, and in turn, some movies now take inspiration from video games and stuff like that. So, like I said, very recently, without letting any cats out of any bags, um, and it all goes back to what I always say about make sure you do your research. I know it can be, depending on the side of the fence that you're on, it could be very easy to make clickbait videos, just hit record with a bunch of nonsense and make and pop out a video. Or some people could make these elaborate clickbait videos and fake news videos that can actually be more involving and time consuming than actually doing your research. But very recently, which it just blew me out of the water, and I was geeking out, and I was like a huge fanboy now. I saw some zombie ether stuff stories that continued in other studios and other games, and like I said, I guess the ones that I did mention already and I can mention again is if you go and play Back for Blood, you can see some Victus and Transit storylines in there. And then very recently, one of the Fortnite season live events had like Samantha Maxis in it. So a lot of them pay respects or homage to each other's games. Um, and the reason I have Zombie Chronicles playing in the background is because that was what because Jason Blundell was known for. He was Zombies head director while he was at Treyarch, and he created Zombie Chronicles. Everybody's wishing for Zombie Chronicles too. But then, like I've mentioned, there is a huge chance that we'll never get a Zombie Chronicles 2 because, and I'm not trying to go off topic too much, but they can take what they made in the past and remake it or reimagine it into a new storyline or kind of continue what they did before, either studio Treyarch or any other studio out there. And the thing is about artists and gaming studios, they can take inspiration from other people or pay homage. I guess the only like negative downfall or no would be if you try and somewhat rewrite it and make it better, or maybe something along the lines like that, or they kind of like put a negative spin on it. I think that would be a no-no. But if you were a fan of something from pop culture, movies, games, books, comics, whatever, poems, and you want to make your own artistic spin on it, it's possible to do that. Like I said a few weeks ago, a few months ago actually, I never would have thought that it would be possible. And some of the stuff that I've seen very recently, um, it is very possible to put your own spin on a story. and especially one of the zombie stories. And it could be like its own game in itself, but at the same way, it could be like a what they call like a spiritual successor. So it kind of made me think too, like a couple years ago, like what was going on in Treyarch or Call of Duty. Was there any hints that Zombies wasn't going to continue? Why other people decided to maybe continue the story, and that's maybe something that Jason Blundell can do at Deviation Games, is kind of like, and it also makes me wonder what the zombie YouTubers are up to, the way they just crap on every new map, every new game that Treyarch releases. Are they kind of like sabotaging it so Deviation Games can make their version of it or make a better version of it? I don't know exactly what's going on, so again, I don't want to do too many theories, but it makes me wonder, in a good way, that if Jason Lundell and Dave Anthony and Deviation Games wanted to make some type of Black Ops or Black Ops 2 spiritual successor, it can be possible and it can be allowed. I guess, as you guys probably know, you can kind of even reference some of the characters. The only thing I guess would be if you put a negative spin on it, then I think maybe Activision Call of Duty Treyarch might get upset. But if you kind of like put it in there as a little Easter egg, or paying homage or respects to the Aether story, it can be possible and it has been done. Like I said, there's a lot out there that carried the Aether story outside of Activision. And the ones, again, that I'll mention because I kind of slipped it out anyways, is Back for Blood, and then what Fortnite's doing. And then it kind of almost proves how much hot air the zombie YouTubers have, because they talk about they want the old maps, they want, survival maps, round-based maps, they want Aether story, they want premise and ultimates, but that stuff is out there, and for them not to, um, you know, I guess, lack for better words, advertise it or play it, then it makes you think or prove that, um, if Treyarch goes ahead and makes these round-based maps or continues the Aether premise ultimate story, that they might not even. It's not even guaranteed that these toxic, negative zombie YouTubers are going to continue to play the game or love the game or promote the game or advertise the game in a positive way. So it kind of again makes me wonder, why would they even attempt to do that if it doesn't guarantee that people are going to play it? Because like I tell you right now, I can probably name like 5 games that are outside of the Activision studios that make the Aether story or movies and stuff like that, and I don't see any zombie YouTuber talking about it or making videos about it. Again, that goes to show also that Jason Blundell uploaded a 10-minute video a few days ago or weeks ago, and nobody's talked about it. So it just shows how much hot air they do blow, because everybody's saying they want Jason Black. Jason made the best maps. Jason's Zombies was the best, but nobody's talked about him or even acknowledged that he is pretty much back on social media and stuff like that. So again, with all that being said, again, I never thought that I would admit it, but it is possible for Deviation Games to continue the Aether story with pretty much no ramifications, because it has been done in a lot of different other games and movies. So obviously you can't use the same names and characters, but you can kind of do what they call like a spiritual successor to it. So it should be interesting now, knowing this, what will be coming out of Deviation Games in the next couple of years, which is a good thing. I'm kind of excited to see what they will have or what route they will go, or if they'll just put like 1 or 2 Easter eggs in it, or if it's something that you can say to yourself, wow, this is actually like a Aether story continuation. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, maybe I'll try and answer, or if people enjoy this, I'll kind of maybe be a little bit more specific, hopefully not to get myself in trouble. But anyways, I'll see you guys there.